Hey there, Mr. Chu here. Let's do a few SAT review problems. So I've already completed Module 1 with the 27 problems. I have 13 short videos with 2 or 3 problems on each, and then I've got one long one with 27 problems. It's on my YouTube channel. So hopefully you can use those to review. Now let's start Module 2 in my first video 1, which will be a short video with 3 problems on it. So, as before, all of this material, all of these problems have been released by the College Board for review for students, and they've been put up on my YouTube channel. So, Module 1 is already up there. The College Board released these for SAT review. It'll be good review for the CT and the ASVAB. Some will be easy, some will be hard. They all require background information in algebra or geometry or number sense or probability or some math topic that you talked about in your classes leading up to the SAT. Make sure that you like this video. You can forward it to people. You can also um, follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I've got lots of math help videos on my YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe to that. There'll be a link over here in this area in the video if you're on a computer, or under it if you're on a device. Here's the long link. You could always type in on a URL. I also have an email address if you need to contact me and ask me a specific question, whether it be a request for me to talk about something in a future video, or I can just answer your email about your math questions. It's always good to have an extra resource besides your teacher. If you're not in a class, maybe you just need to ask a question. So let's get to these 3 problems on this particular review. The first one is a line graph, and it asks you a question about the line graph. It is multiple choice. The second one, it's talking about probability. So if you need to pause it now so that you can work on these and then see if you did them right, then do so now, and I'll start talking about them. So it's got this line graph, and you notice on the horizontal axis talking about the model year of automobiles, what year they came out, their model. And over on the vertical, it's talking about the percent of cars for sale. It says the line graph shows the percent of cars for sale at a used car lot on a given day by model year. For what model year is the percent of cars for sale the smallest? So you have to look at the line graph, and the smallest number would be, the model years are on the horizontal, but the smallest number would be down in this area right here. That's where the numbers are the smallest in the percentages. So that would happen to be 2014, which would be answer C. So hopefully you were able to get that. This wasn't a hard one to start out with number one. Number one a lot of times isn't one of the harder ones. Number 2, it says for a particular machine that produces beads, 29 out of every 100 beads it produces have a defect. Bead produced by the machine will be selected at random. What's the probability of selecting a bead that has a defect? Well, what does probability actually mean? That would be the question. Do you remember from your math classes? Well, the probability of an event is the number of possible defects, in this case, over the total number that's produced of beads. So I have 29 possibly defected beads out of every 100 produced, which is 29 out of 100, or choice C. Hopefully you're able to get that one. It wasn't too hard. Number 3 may be just a little bit harder. So we're doing 3 in this first short video. So in number 3, we have 2 lines, M and N, that are intersected by transversal T. It says the figure is not drawn to scale. In the figure, line M is parallel to line N. So as a geometry teacher, I would take and I would mark these with little arrowheads, and that would designate that they were parallel. In the figure, line M is parallel to line N, and line T intersects both lines. What's the value of X? So these two angles are called the same side exterior angles. It's just something that we call them in a geometry class. So we're given line M and N are parallel. That's how I would write parallel. Angle X and angle 33 are called supplementary because they are the same side exterior angles, which will be supplementary. Something that you learned in geometry class. So if two angles are supplementary, that means their sum is 180 degrees. So the measure of angle X plus 33 degrees is going to equal 180. So this angle plus this angle will be 180. Now there's a lot of other things we could have talked about. We could have said that this angle here and this angle are alternate exterior and they would be congruent. And if they're congruent, then these two angles would be supplementary. So all these things are things that are true, but we can just use this simple equation here and solve it now using inverse operation. So I use the subtraction property of equality, and when I subtract them, I get 147 degrees, or choice D. Hopefully you were able to get all three of these right in this first module 2 video that I'm doing. All right, so I will continue and do another 8 or 9 until I complete the 27 problems that are in this module 2. I do have 27 problems worked from module 1 that is in my YouTube channel at this time. So you can check those out. And there's a playlist that has all the short ones and then the one very long video in it. And I will put links at the end to all of these. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, X, Facebook. I want you just to be able to access all of the videos that I have. I do have a YouTube channel. The link would be down here on this part of the video down in here. If you're watching on a computer, if you're on a device, it could be after it. I do have an email address where you can send me math questions I will answer for you. Help me spread the word. That's what I want you to do. Help me spread the word. I have video curricula that I call Bear Algebra. There's Bear. Brack Geometry, and there's Brack. Tray Arithmetic and Pre-Algebra, and there's Tray. Help you. Let me help you. Remember, I'm Mr. Chew, and I want to help you do well on the SAT and in your math classes. Watch my videos, and together we will learn the math. I'll see you next time, Mr. Chew out.